Hey, and welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today I'm going to be talking about IDEX, Ideanomics again. So this time I come in with a better updates in terms of my opinion on this stock. Now it has received an offering which I did expect at some point before, but it did dip down quite below today, very much closer to the trading action zone. And so my view for this stock is a little bit more optimistic today than it was before, especially after it's seen that drawback where a lot of weaker hands have sold and it has a little bit been consolidated a little, even with lower volume. So you can see the trading action zone is advancing up quite nicely here. So even if it dips again like today, a reversal is highly likely to go back upwards. The offering is around 329, so the price is still below the offering price, which is a good sign for as well advancements. Not sure if it would jump to $4 tomorrow, but there's a good chance that it will stay above $3 for tomorrow. Now in terms of the stock here, the stock has moved from highly overbought to a bit more oversold, which is a good sign. Average directional index has been quite high for a little, so that's a little bit of a red flag, but I've been ignoring it just because even though around this area here it's still considered high and it has jumped, so the average directional index is a little bit inaccurate. Now the MACD seems to be at a still, but then I'll have to check a little bit in terms of the 1 hour period. You can see that the blue is above the red, which is an amazing news for me. In terms of averages, I can see that the 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA, which is quite nicely. However, the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA are very close to each other, touching and below the price, so that might be just something I need to be careful of. But the business has changed quite a bit since then, and so we expect a little bit of a nice movement that might continue. I don't expect the stock to go back to $1, for instance, but it would probably still, at least for the next few days, see more than $3 or above $3. Now going into the 1 hour view here, just ignore the charts for a little. We're going to be looking into the MACD, and we can start seeing that the MACD has gone from negative to positive, which is an amazing sign. In terms of the stock here, it was quite oversold for at least the last 2 days, and it's starting to see a little bit of a nicer run. Now we might see is a little bit of a pullback, perhaps tomorrow closer to $3, or perhaps even later on today before it sees that nicer jump. But the MACD looks primed for that. You can see that there's a cross that is confirmed, and I'll do the 5 days 1 hour period in order to so that cross is confirmed and is more advancing as well. That happened before pre-market, which is a good news for me. Now let's going into the moving averages. We can see that the stock is still trading above the moving average, but the moving average is still increasing. That's a good news for me. Going to the trend line, the stock has not broken this trend line that is in a positive direction, but later on at the end of this week, I would expect it to at least go in for 2.5, around 2.3, 2.4, where it wouldn't dip any more than that. So if it dips anything below 250, I would definitely buy the stock, for my opinion. Now the stock has changed a lot of its own movements and directions. Now the offering was at 329, so that's good news because still the price is under the offering, and I expect it to still jump around that. The company has known how to play the PR pretty well, so I would expect that they're just continuing feeding for the stock until at least stabilizes. So from a company's standpoint of view, one of the things they want to make sure is they don't go fall back towards the bottom of the dollar. So what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to stay advanced as much as possible. And that's something I realized a little bit too late into this stock here. I've been calling a little bit of pullbacks, and we've seen that pullbacks, but I think the stock has completely changed from the under dollar territory and is advanced for positive outcome, at least for perhaps tomorrow or maybe a bit for Friday. But here's the thing: this is, for me, for the stock is not a long hold term. This stock operates between the U.S. and China, and that's something you want to consider as well. Would trade restrictions still go on, especially with this, with the whole things that have been going on with China and the U.S. tensions? And that might be a negative catalyst, but I don't expect that anytime soon, or at least this week if I'm holding the stock. So my vision is very much short term in this stock, where I can make a bit of percentage. That's been my opinion though. Make sure to do your own DD. Thank you for watching. If you want to add any tickers down below, I'll consider making a video on them. Make sure to add any questions you have, and have a wonderful day.